What is going on, guys? Angel Talamantes here with Click Leads Local, back with another one of the 50 books in 26 weeks journey.
Another one.
And the last two books we talked about so far are Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. And if you guys have missed those, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss another book.
Another one.
In this series. So today we're going to talk about The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And this is a really important book for people that don't have much structure in their daily routines, their business, their life, etc. And I think this book is very, very foundational for business and entrepreneurship. And that's why I wanted to get it started as one of the first few books in this series. So without further ado, let's go to the video and review the book. And before I get started on this book review, guys, I want to encourage you guys to listen or watch at 1.5 or 2 times speed. Your ability to consume more information quicker will help you over the long run, just like the power of habit. So listen at 1.5 or 2 times the speed, and you will thank me later.
In the early 1900s, only 7% of Americans had toothpaste in their homes. After Pepsodent put a few ingredients in its toothpaste, which had absolutely no effect on the cleanliness of teeth, that number had jumped up to 65% in about a decade. What did Pepsodent do? A few months ago, I wanted to meditate for 15 minutes a day. I had all the free time in the world, so I thought I would do it whenever I wanted to. After a few days, I realized I was extremely inconsistent. I couldn't believe my entire day was free and I couldn't find 15 minutes. I started to blame myself for lacking discipline and having low willpower. Luckily, I had just started reading The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Then I started working over 12 hours a day. Even though I was extremely busy, I realized over a month had passed and I hadn't missed a single day of meditation. How did I do it? Both Pepsodent and I use the power of the same concept, the habit loop. The habit loop is comprised of a routine which is preceded by a cue and followed by a reward. Pepsodent.
Now that's very interesting to consider, that a lot of your habits that you think that are, come from your willpower and things like that, humans are such creatures of habit, creatures of routine. And if you can get yourself to get in some sort of routine by using a cue and a reward and sandwich your routine in between a cue and a reward, you're going to do those things that you want to do. You're going to exercise. You're going to take the time here and learn. If you can fit it somewhere in your schedule, maybe right after you work out or right before you go to bed, if you can fit certain tasks in between your cue and your reward, you will do them much more often.
Put citric acid and other chemicals in its formula which had no effect on the cleanliness of teeth whatsoever. However, what they did produce was the cool tingling sensation on the tongue and gums, which we're so familiar with today. People in America had started to crave that feeling. What did I do? I focused on the cue instead. In my first case, there were no defined cues, so I made a simple change. I decided I was going to meditate when I took a bath in the morning. The location, my bathroom, the time, bath time in the morning, and the immediately preceding action, my waking up, made the cue much stronger. And that is exactly how you achieve consistency. You keep tweaking the cues and the rewards instead of beating yourself up for lacking discipline and having low willpower.
Now, that was The Power of Habit summed up in a very short video. But I think the big thing to take from this is, like he said, to focus on the cues and focus on the rewards and tweak them until you have the perfect routine. And, with the power of habit, doing something daily is going to move you a lot further in your business, in your life, in anything that you're trying to work on. I was actually talking to a guy today about coffee, and he always drinks his coffee black. And I think it's really important to think about. Right now I have a Starbucks, but imagine if I got Starbucks every single day before I went to work. And imagine that I put sugar and a bunch of cream in that coffee every single day that I went to work. And let's say that was 5 days a week, like most people work Monday through Friday. 5 days a week for an entire year, you're drinking a sugar-filled, cream-filled coffee. What do you think the outcome of doing that for a long time will be? You'll probably have certain bowel and intestine issues. You might gain weight because of it. There are several things that habit, that routine do to you, and they can be positive or negative depending on how they fit into your routine. So guys, that was The Power of Habit. The next book that we're going to talk about is The Monk That Sold His Ferrari. And a lot of people have probably never read this book, but it's a great read, and I can't wait to show you guys the video on this one. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss a single book in this series. Until next time, guys, Angel Talamantes, Click Leads Local. Thank you.